Okay, I'm gonna talk as quick as I can. This is on the issue of dealing with my friend. He died. He had two daughters. He was robbed over cartel drugs in South Central LA. It killed him. His daughters had no more daddy. Shot him in the heart over his own bed. Also, I know a guy got 25 to life for a $3 rock. So in the issue of drugs, let me make this very clear. The people back in historic days had a biasness. The only reason why they didn't receive Christ is because they had a biasness. For black people, if you have a biasness, please really consider what I'm saying. The Democratic Party has done a lot of good for blacks. Let me first say that. But when it comes down to the issue of drugs, Obama even addressed the issue of the borders and crime and drugs. As far as the Latinos are concerned, they should vote. They should march to get their people where they need them to be. But as far as black issues go, when I see Don Lemon, when I see the State of Union address rebutted by strengthened black families, and I see lack of jobs, because it was okay when Obama talked about it, lack of jobs, and then drugs still running through the neighborhoods, murders still at a high rate, highest unemployment. I'm saying, have you been bamboozled? We should all be independents, and only issues that deal with issues to strengthen our families and communities is what we should be about. Now, let me say this. We didn't call Obama a racist when he dealt with the situation of securing borders because of drugs. Now, you're going to sit here and tell me it's more than just the border. Well, I do know where they do come in. Watch Border Patrol, watch cops. You'll see them rolling through my neighborhoods and arresting my people. And I watch kilos of cocaine sitting on floors with God knows how much money back in the day. All of them dead right now. We got it straight from over the border, man. I ain't gonna go no farther than that. It's black on black crime continued if you don't speak out against drugs coming over at least the southern border, because the cycle continues. Lack of jobs, here go the drugs, go back to the penitentiary, and when they go back to the penitentiary, what happens? They work for 11 cents a day or an hour. It's modern day slavery. And by the way, I love my Democrats, but wasn't it Democrats that had us enslaved? Wasn't it a spirit of hatred that divided the North and the South? And now you want us to hate any and everybody that would point to stopping drugs flow, who's getting hit worse as African American communities, and putting up people like Don Lemon and everyone else to act like we hate the very thing that we should love, which is to stop drugs from coming into your community. Is it not a good thing? Should we not love good and hate evil? But if we look at what we see today, we'll see hatred. We're being told to hate all the newscasters. I see a lot of newscasters, a lot of people in power. No one's speaking out against drugs coming into the black communities. They're only concerned about let's hate Trump. Don't be so bamboozled. They gave you Obama, but it looks like it's been a puppet, because when Obama tried to stop the drugs and build a wall, just Google it, YouTube it. Guess what? It didn't go down. It didn't go down. So we don't need people speaking as though you're embracing black people and you care about our causes, and yet our brothers are being locked up and thrown away the keys over something you said is very serious, which is cocaine. Why wouldn't that be a state of emergency? What it has done to the neighborhoods in the black communities. So if you're going to march, if you're going to do things that's going to count, stand up and say, look, man, we got to stop these drugs. It's modern day slavery. You get caught, you go to the pen, you work for nothing. And it has affected all communities. But if specifically, I would like to just address the black community and say, man, is there anybody out there talking about drugs? The man just pointed to the drugs. I don't give a squat about no Trump. I don't care about no conservative. And now I don't care about no Democrat. Thank God for the progress we made on either side. But to not acknowledge that drugs is a serious issue is a crime against black people. Black on black crime again. And the educated people seem to use their education to hate on people with the checks and balances that have been brought in this country. A biasness will stop that from flowing. You better get the whole story. Nothing but the story. So help you God. Or we'll be like the dinosaur age. we'll be living in something that we created, we allowed, because we didn't speak out for it. And all I want to say is, if you still are out there and you're dealing with a two-eyed snake, oh, we love you people. Oh, we put our arms around you. Oh, look at black people here, black people there. Yeah, it all looks good. But then you hear voices of hatred about issues that would affect black people directly, such as building a wall or whatever it is to stop drugs from coming into my communities. It's my homeboys that's doing life. It's my homeboys that I went to the funerals. They shot my partner in the heart, took his money, cocaine, and everything else. And y'all want me to sit here and act like I didn't see that and I didn't know where the dope came from? Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all is delusional to believe that drugs is not a modern day scourge. And ain't there, you can't do nothing about it, because we the mother harlots of Babylon and the sorceries and everything else running this thing. But to sit back and act like everything that has came as an idea from the check and balance system is a wicked thing, and have black people speak up against it, and then as the State of the Union lady addressed, make it an issue of strengthening families. How you going to strengthen families when there's no jobs hardly? And even though Obama might have tried to bring some jobs, and the drugs are still flowing in, man, are you insane? We don't need no more educated black leaders. We need some thugs to go to Washington and tell them, man, we get the drugs straight over the border on the West Coast. What's up with that? Ain't y'all going to do something and say something about it? It's destroyed lives on top of lives, on families on top of families. Watch cops. Watch Border Patrol. Do your homework. We're not entertainers. We're not buffoons. We're not circus clowns. Our lives matter. They count. So if you're not about securing borders for drugs, all the borders, and you are African American, you are so out of tune and so drunk with power that you should definitely repent. Because the blood that's been shed, and that's all blood that's been shed because of drugs, has spoken to the Lord of the harvest. And brother, the Lord of Sabaoth, you do not want to play with cause and effect and sowing and reaping. It ain't God doing it. It's what we created and what we allowed and what we done. We so scared to speak the power. If it's number one issue, stop drugs from coming in the southern border, and the east and the west and the north. But check this out. The one that's coming through the south, that is orchestrated by the biggest demons you can ever even imagine. That's orchestrating the whole move of God to destroy all people in this country. And that's not an issue. We're talking about Russia, North Korea. Well, both of them start bombing us, you'd probably be dead. You wouldn't be hearing this video right now. What do you mean don't make pace? Don't sidetrack me. Go back to the issues on drugs. Go back to securing those borders to make sure those tunnels and everything else can cease. This is coming from a South Central real hood figure back in the 70s, homeboy. And I ain't got no love for you, just slugs for you. And that simply means put a whitewashed, delusional lie of that ain't a serious issue. That's not an emergency. It is for the black people. It is. To get that scourge out of here, they will sell you out for a vote. Their parties will sell you out for a vote. Only vote for things that matter, that will affect your people. And if you educated sitting back on ivory castles off the spoils of Egypt, shame on you if you don't speak up and say, we got to stop drugs because I'm my brother's keeper. Selah. Lest the blood of all those that have died and all the lives be destroyed, and you do nothing. When good men do nothing, then what do you think Martin Luther King would have had to say about the drugs and its impact on our communities and stopping it from coming into this country? And we use his name every day. It's like almost believable that we just been hit by a demonic spirit of delusion. You can't believe everything Democrats are saying right now. Their North and South hatred that came from way back. It's all over black people. Notice they're the ones on the news speaking out, talking about this, talking about that. But on one issue, you can speak out all you want, and you should speak out on issues that are not right. But on the drug issue and securing the border, shame on you if you call yourself a leader. Shame on you, Don Lemon, for demonizing everything. Even that issue and calling it racist was racist is when you don't deal with the issue and you wind up destroying a whole community of people because you look the other way just to get the vote. That's the sellout. That's the same spirit that kept us in chains, sending our brothers back to the penitentiary to work for nothing. And that's all I got to say about it, man. I don't mean no harm. Thank God for the good from the Democrats. Thank God for the progression of the Latinos. Thank God for whatever ideas come from our checks and balances. But I'm saying, man, if you don't wake up, you're going to be almost extinct. That is to say, it is our males that's going to prison for selling drugs wholesale. And where are the jobs, by the way? All these promises, promises, promises. You've been sold down the river, man. And we should all be independents. We only vote on issues that's going to affect the community. That's if you care. Unless the pleasures of evil, you esteem that higher than suffering with God's people and not leaving not one behind. You are your brother's keeper. You are, in the name of every dead homeboy that been shot, that been killed, that got life, that's doing a hard time over these drugs that we can't grow in our neighborhoods, such as cocaine and methamphetamine. Man, I'm speaking out for their blood, homeboy. I don't care who you are out there. If you don't like it, turn this tape off. But what I'm saying, this ain't a Trump issue. This is an issue of destruction of the black people here in this country through drugs, and we ought to be repenting and restoring and paying back what has been taken from people in power that's allowed these drugs to flow freely into this country, and they winded up in Freeway Rick's hands down in South Central LA, and crack hit this country ever since then, and it came from over the border. And I said it so, homie. That's on hood. You don't like it? Take this to Washington. Yeah. Now, all I can say is this. I love you, but this is love. Telling you the truth. Look at the drugs. Look at the black communities. And if someone just says, stop it, you hate them, that's a blind hatred. Matter of fact, African Americans shouldn't hate anybody. What we doing hating North and South, them is issues and spirits that been around so long, generation curses, you getting pulled off into that. Just look at Don Lemon's eyes, they bloodshot red, man. Look at the Speaker of the House talking about strengthening families, but yet brothers getting blown away over drugs. And it's a racist issue to talk about things that's going down at the southern border. This is South Central LA, homie, seen it firsthand, man. All them drugs came right over that border. I'm out here putting myself on the line to tell you something. But where's our leaders? Where's Jesse Jackson? Where's the marchers? Where's Al Sharpton? Why ain't they marching down there to stop drugs at the border? Why? Knowing their community's been devastated. Are they brainwashed? Are you brainwashed? Wake up and seek the Lord while you have time, brother. Because the laws of cause and effect don't discriminate. They don't care about your race, who your color is. If you allow it and you don't bind it and take your authority and use what you have, then it'll keep coming. The curse will still keep coming, running rampant, destroying black men and women's lives. Crack, cocaine, methamphetamine. Man, you guys got to be hoodwinked. God bless you. I'm out.